smart about it that you couldn't change people's reaction and people's opinion. The universe. That's how the universe is thinking.
And I'll give it to Paul Heyman. He gave it his best shot. And he got like a 50-50 reaction. You got half of the crowd chanting for Goldberg, and then the other half chanting Suplex City.
Well, and I wouldn't even say it was half.
40-60? 40-60?
70-30 maybe.
Yeah.
But I give it, at this point, the crowd was absolutely asleep because Raw had not delivered one exciting thing throughout the night. Really, there was a couple spots here and there that were entertaining enough, but Raw, the crowd was dead. There had been nothing to get the crowd over or get them awake.
But how about Mick Foley and the contract signing between Charlotte and Sasha Banks? To me, I found that they delivered in that promo. Mick Foley was the right guy in there to basically hype up the dangers of the Hell in a Cell match. And who better to do it than the man who was thrown off of it in King of the Ring 1998?
Right. And threw it.
And we've been seeing it in the video packages. They're using Foley's voice to kind of do the voiceovers.
And again, who better to do it than Mick Foley?
Of Hell in a Cell, but the crowd was dead throughout the segment. Mick got him to pop. He even resorted to his here in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
And it was basically him warning the women about the perils of Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, it was the first Hell in a Cell.
Nightmares. But the crowd was chanting boring until Mick Foley would get on.
Yeah.
While the women were on, they weren't into it. When Mick Foley got on, they were like, Foley, Foley.
Well, I got to disagree with you to a little bit of an extent. After Mick Foley's first presentation in the promo, I found that Charlotte and Sasha Banks stepped it up a bit and brought more intensity into that promo, more passion, more drama into it. And that says a lot when your top talents right now on Monday Night Raw are the females. I'm not saying anything to be like...
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far either. But right now, Charlotte and Sasha Banks are probably one of the two main reasons to watch Monday Night Raw right now. So I'll give it to them.
Even though the feud's stale and they need to move on after this.
Yeah. Well, the feud itself is stale, but they're making history at Hell in a Cell. When we even talked about it last week about them, and they kind of announced it now as a triple main event for Hell in a Cell. But I think we have a lot more matches than just that to talk about happening at Hell in a Cell. So I think we should get on that. Mm-hmm. If you guys want to call in and give us your predictions for Hell in a Cell, you can do so by calling in to 366-8951. That's 337-366-8951.
We usually owe.
Yeah, we usually owe, but this week we're number one.
Yeah, number one.
So make sure you call in. And also, we're also live right now on youtube.com/WrestleGamer. If you guys can't call in, just call in.
Are we on Facebook too?
Well, no, we're not on Facebook. I'll talk to you about that after the show.
And I also have a question for the fans.
What you got?
There. Who are the top 5 wrestlers that you watch that make you want to watch every week? And
from each brand?
I've got mine. Yeah, on both brands. The people that make you still watch wrestling and make you tune in every week. For mine, I can give you my top 5 to get you guys started here.
Okay.
I would say my definite top right now is AJ Styles. I want to see if it's AJ Styles match, it's going to be a good match.
What if we go by brand?
Bray Wyatt would be my next one.
Yeah,
then John Cena. Anytime John Cena is on, it's must-see TV with his promos and his matches. Then that kind of makes SmackDown. This is a top 5 here. And then for Raw, I got New Day and Jericho. Those are the top 5 reasons I watch wrestling. I wish Sami Zayn would get more of a push and do something because I really like Zayn. I really like Neville, but where is he? Cesaro.
He's in the tag match at Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
Championship, but they're not going to win it.
Literally, Hell in a Cell. And I wish Rollins was better. I wish it was the old Rollins before he got hurt.
Yeah. Do you find he's better as a heel than he is as a face?
Yeah. I think so. Like Bo Dallas said, he's a jerk in real life.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, if you want to get to the top, you got to be.
Yeah. Well, he's got a point there. But
And even you can argue that whenever Brock Lesnar or Undertaker or anybody that's kind of a part-timer is on, that's kind of my CTV. And you got to throw in Randy Orton in there, which we'll get his news here in a little while.
now, if I were to go with my top 5 by brand on Raw, I would have Kevin Owens,
Sure.
Seth Rollins,
Sure.
Chris Jericho for sure, as long as he brings the list.
Right.
I mean, the crowd was pretty much dead on Monday Night Raw this week, but when Jericho got his list back,
That was the only thing they were popping for. The list.
I
They
love
need to
it.
Turn him face and have him feud with Owens.
No, I think they need to keep Jericho as a heel, though. He's creatively better as a heel. What
Have
do you
him do
think?
the same act, but just as a face, like where he's getting cheered for his heel act.
Yeah, I love it. I love it, Jericho. If I were to go 2 more for, because I only mentioned 3.
Well, I did 5 total.
Yeah, you did 5 total
Each brand.
for each
You're gonna
brand.
have New Day if you're gonna go Raw.
Right. You guys kind of get.
I'm going to disagree with you on that one, and I'm going to put the club in the place of the New Day. Physically speaking, if they were booked properly, they wouldn't be booking them the way they are right now.
Right.
So, but I still watch them.
And
What
even
about the
on
better show,
SmackDown, you
SmackDown?
got Miz and Ziggler have been tearing it up. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's 2 people that are definitely on for my SmackDown top 5. It's Miz and Ziggler, along with AJ Styles, John Cena, and because of what Dean Ambrose is doing now, the entertaining stuff, being funny outside of the ring.
Wyatt?
Well, who's in the main event segment right now?
Not Dean Ambrose anymore. When he lost his #1 contendership match.
Yeah, but I get the feeling they're going to work a way around it. And it might have something to do with James Ellsworth. If anybody calls in and says James Ellsworth is their top 5, I'm hanging up on your ass. The no-chin freak.
At his time in the sun.
The Turtle Club.
That's pretty much been my top 5. What about yours?
No chin music.
Yeah, no
And
chin.
James here is in the chat room, and he says, why is James Ellsworth so over? He's like Blue Pants when she was in NXT.
Common folk.
Common
Yeah,
folk.
People can make fun of him.
The no-chin music, Cincinnati.
Right.
David, I'll give it to David Otunga. He's been
has
stepping it
coming
up.
with him. Yeah. Otunga has been getting better. I agree with you there.
James, if you want to call in, the number is on the screen, area code 337, man. We'd like to hear from you.
All right, my top 5 for Raw is probably Jericho.
Without a doubt.
Without
He's
a
the
doubt.
best one on the show right now.
Jericho. Who else? I really like the Divas.
Enzo and Cass.
And Enzo Cass. Who else? I like the Cruiserweights. That's #1 for me. Just bring it
Yeah,
back.
How can you not-
I enjoy Kendrick. And,
Me as a wrestle gamer, I have to get behind TJ Perkins. I love his entrance.
Yeah, with the gaming
And
stuff.
SmackDown, pretty much better show. I think
Way better.
AJ Styles, Ziggler and The Miz. Who else is really good? The tag team division's kind of good. Heath Slater and Raya.
What about that
Beauty and
feud
the
with
Man
Alexa and
Beast.
Becky Lynch? How
Yeah.
about that feud?
Yeah, and Becky Lynch, like you said, her hair looks orange.
All of the
orange.
women on SmackDown, I think, are better.
Yeah.
At least as far as their characters and their promos. But that's just me. Maybe they got the old dude that was running NXT storylines.
Or I'm just making sure this is
running
loud.
SmackDown, because it's just way better. It's more wrestling-esque. So y'all want to just go through Hell in a Cell? We can talk about
Oh, yeah.
the Raw, build up to it, their match, I guess.
Oh, yeah, sure,
Kinda
definitely.
connect the two.
Yeah, because, again, guys, if you want to call in with your predictions, the number is on the screen, 366. And as I've been told, my friend James is going to be trying to call in just a second here, and he's going to talk some Hell in a Cell with us.
Which, let's get the crap out of the way. We saw Golden Truth versus Shining Stars with Mark Henry in Golden Truth's corner and Titus O'Neil in Shining Stars' corner. I'm thinking we're going to see a 6-man tag, most likely.
Wait, they're redoing that for the...
I would imagine so. Why have them on Raw? Unless it's just filler. Which I would imagine that's on the cutting block. And I have a question mark behind it. I'm not sure if
Yeah.
it's on the official card.
not that I've seen today.
But if that were to be a match, I'm thinking Shining Stars would probably get the victory because it appears they maybe have a mini feud brewing with Heath Slater and the SmackDown Tag Team Champions for Survivor Series.
Well, the thing to me that would dismiss the question mark and turn it into an eraser mark is what would the purpose serve? I mean, they've already had 2 matches. They had a 6-man tag where Golden Truth and Mark Henry won, and then on this past week's Monday Night Raw, the Golden Truth beat the Shining Star. So how can they set up a rubber match when they've already won the first 2 straight?
Right, and I mean, I would say to be just to put over the Shining Stars for their feud with the SmackDown Tag Team Champions at Survivor Series because they sold Heath Slater some bad stocks or something.
How can they have a feud with the SmackDown Tag Team Championship when they're on Raw?
Well, because it's Survivor Series and it's SmackDown versus Raw tag teams, and they sold Heath Slater some bad stocks. I don't know. I mean,
well, I wouldn't put it past them, but as far as looking at the official card for Hell in a Cell, it's not coming up for anything with the Shining Stars and.
Well, I hope to God that it's not on there.
Yeah. Well, as far as I can tell, we got one.
What about Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel? I thought it was so stupid. Curtis Axel finally got over. He
was in his hometown.
Back to his roots, talking about his peoples.
Larry the Axe-Handed, Kurt.
The Child's Cranton skull. He had like a skull T-shirt.
I have no idea what that means.
I mean, I know it's a type of vodka, but other than that, like the crowd was into it and they were chanting he was over. If he had gotten even just like a cheap roll-up victory. But no, Bo Dallas got the cheap roll-up victory, and he didn't need it because he's gotten pretty over as they'll get. But that could have helped Curtis Axel so much into becoming a decent mid-carder.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with you on that. But apparently they see something in Bo Dallas. I mean, they have to. I mean, they gave him a new gimmick.
Brother, and he was NXT champion.
And I do believe we have James on the line. James, how you doing?
Your YouTube video has the wrong number on there, so I blame your YouTube video.
Wait, so the 366-8951 number is not the right number?
On your description on YouTube, it has the 8950.
Oh, well, usually it is 895.
Well, yeah, usually it is, but we're in a different area of the studio tonight.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. All right.
But James, first, before you go on, we've given up our top 5s for Raw and SmackDown. What are your top 5 picks for Raw and SmackDown?
Is it just limited to the guys, or can I add the females to this?
Please do.
Yeah.
All right. Basically, my top 5 for Raw.
That just make you want to watch it. Which Raw has been losing me on that end.
Yeah, the Raw will be Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho with the damn list, and the gift of Jericho. Drink it in,
without a doubt.
Man.
Drink it in.
And then
Drink it in.
Drink it in.
And then I had to go Sasha and Charlotte because really, they're interesting, and it's first time women in the Hell in a Cell.
Over the tag division, even Enzo and Cass, the Club, New Day.
Enzo, Cass, New Day are kind of up there, but I would rather with the women more than the tag team because they have more of the interesting feel. I mean, Enzo and Cass does have like that mic skills, but really how WWE is booking them now, I kind of can't put them in that top 5.
You said it. It's how they're booking them. Because I wish Sami Zayn was in my top 5. I wish Neville was in my top 5. I wish Cesaro was in my top 5.
The club could be also booked a lot better.
That's a lot of people with a lot of the booking. That's why you can't put them in the top 5.
Right.
To be honest.
And I think Sami Zayn probably volunteered to get slaughtered by Braun Strowman just so he can be on the card.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. For SmackDown, since Buddy said I can't put James Ellsworth, I have to put him away. Hey, no, beyond serious.
Just imagine me giving you a gesture right now that I can't do on TV, James. Just picture it.
Ellsworth, come on.
Gosh. I would say AJ Styles,
number 1.
Orton, Dean Ambrose, and Bray Wyatt. That's my
Wyatt,
top 5.
definitely. And you can't leave out Miz and Ziggler. They've been doing some great work.
Yeah, you can't leave out Miz and Ziggler. to be honest, but they're up there. But it's just like
Top
really,
5, right?
It's really hard. It's really hard to put in a top 5 for SmackDown.
Yeah, because the whole show has been good. Even all the women's roster is way better than Raw as far as their character build.
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly. You have Alexa Bliss, who really is surprising how she is, handling the feud with Becky Lynch.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
They've gotten over Mojo Rawley,
Yeah.
As long as he stops doing the MC Hammer dances in the ring.
I think he's just over because of Zack Ryder.
Possibly. Possibly.
And I like Randy Orton too.
Natalia.
But yeah, poor Natalia. But do you think we're gonna see another Bailey versus Dana Brooke or anything?
Yeah, that has been confirmed.
Yeah.
It's been confirmed.
That's been confirmed for Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
There's also a confirmed 6-man.
Yeah. Cedric Alexander,
Did they
Lindsay.
say, did they have a Bo Dallas versus Curtis Axel?
No, that's not on the card.
No, that's not on the
But
card.
they can always throw a little surprise in there.
Impromptu stuff. WWE's notorious for doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I know they do have Club versus Enzo and Cass, Braun Strowman and Sami Zayn.
Actually,
and then all of your title matches.
Actually, Braun Strowman and Sami Zayn is not listed on the main card.
Really?
It's not on the card.
No.
That's
Might
wild.
make the list, though.
I would have expected it to be after what they did on Monday Night Raw with Strowman just walking away from the match.
Well, Survivor Series is 3 weeks after, Hell in a Cell, so I mean they can always save it.
Yeah, and take some time to possibly develop the storyline a little bit more.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Bailey ain't. Well, let's start with Bailey and Dana Brooke. First off, Dana Brooke has gotten severely out of shape. Am I the only one that notices that? I mean, I couldn't have been the only one that saw Dana Brooke in NXT.
I think Dana Brooke is a liability.
Well,
She's not that great.
well, I've been saying that for the longest time since she made her debut over Bailey.
She was good, yeah.
So
I mean, she's got muscles. That's the one good thing about her. So
where are the muscles? The muscles aren't there anymore.
Yeah.
Let's say this, Billy. The only reason why Dana Brooke had this spot over Bailey in the
Emma.
first place was because Bailey was the face of the NXT Women's Division. So unless you would have gave the title to somebody else before then, yeah.
Well,
and the only
he does
reason
bring up
she's
an
getting
interesting
this
point.
opportunity is because Emma got hurt, because that was Emma's spot that Dana Brooks got.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's also,
Yeah, but I still don't understand why they have to repackage Emma. I thought her current gimmick was good enough, but now they're repackaging her into Emmalina.
Well, they don't have like a hot model type woman on the roster, so.
I just think they should have stuck with the evil Emma one.
I was a fan of Evil Emma.
Yeah.
I definitely hope then she doesn't come back doing the crazy dance.
It was like.
Yeah, that was
I
nuts.
think she's gonna come be like more of a stuck-up model, kind of like Eva Marie or something.
Yeah.
My official pick for Bailey and Dana Brooke, the way I see it, they've been pushing Bailey quite a lot.
Bailey.
So yeah, Bailey. James, do you agree with that?
Bailey, because really, I think this is just a short push before she gets her real push.
She'll be the number one contender after Hell in a Cell.
Yeah. Yeah, without a doubt.
I don't think she will be number one contender immediately. I think maybe you would see it maybe after Rumble.
After Survivor Series. Well, yeah, I think you could possibly see them in WrestleMania, women's main event.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't
Like
remember
doing
that.
the Sasha Banks versus Bailey in the WrestleMania.
After what they did last year in Brooklyn, yeah, they're going to put them in main event for Mania.
Oh, I still remember that one spot. I believe it was a backwards hurricanrana off the ropes, and the way Sasha landed with her head on her neck.
Yeah, if Sasha doesn't kill herself first.
Yeah. But it was still a great match, an amazing finish, and they stole the show. And if they can do that for NXT, then hands down, they could do that for the main roster.
Yeah, or be better.
Well, we've got also Gallows and Anderson against Enzo and Cass.
They started this feud completely out of nowhere. A couple of weeks ago, Enzo Amore and Big Cass are getting ready for a match against against Axel and Bo Dallas. And out of nowhere, in the middle of their spiel, out comes the club, and they attack Enzo and Cass, and
Well, they got this fun gimmick.
Yeah.
Like put an end to the fun, or what is it?
yeah, no more fun.
No more fun.
No more fun.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and they're out of the tag title picture because Sheamus and Cesaro got the #1 contendership. They still want the tag titles.
But they got to do something
They
with
gotta
them in
do
the
something.
meantime.
So they're going to go end Enzo and Cass's fun. I got the club in this one. And I had Bailey in the last one.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go against you. I'm gonna go Enzo and Cass.
Okay.
As much as I like the club, Enzo and Cass are really, really well over. Wouldn't you say, James?
They are well over, exactly. They've been over for a good while, even when they came up to the main roster. But I would go with the club because I would believe whoever wins this would be the next #1 contenders for the tag team titles at Survivor Series. And it depends on who wins the tag team championship, actually.
I think New Day actually is going to end up being in the Survivor Series match because if SmackDown's tag team champions are in the Survivor Series match, then Raw has to do it too. And that'll give them an excuse to give New Day another month with the titles to where they can break the record.
But at the same time, most of the superstars will be fighting 2 matches, most likely. That's been reported.
That's a possibility too.
Yeah.
Mark, what do you think?
What about which match?
Enzo and Cass taking on the club.
I think the club should go over.
So it's 3-1 right now. I'm the only one that picked Enzo and Cass to go over. But speaking of the tag team
They just
championship,
got to show their dominance. And they'll probably cheat, but still, show, beat up Enzo the entire time, let Cass get his hot tag, but then they can kind of do something to cheat and get the win.
I think the club needs to go over as a tag team because they need to be the next to beat the New Day.
Right. Let's see. If we do see a Braun Strowman versus Sami Zayn, poor Zayn. It'd probably be Strowman that would win.
yeah, it wouldn't be a complete squash, in my
It's a waste.
personal opinion. I would say it would probably be a little bit more competitive than what Strowman
Surely
did with Sin
It
Cara.
would be way competitive. Yeah, it would be a 5 to 10 minute match.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be like a flat-out squash.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I think that would hurt both Strowman and Zayn, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, Jane get some offense, defense. Just give it a better feel.
Should we even talk about the Raw Tag Team Championship, gentlemen? Because we know the fact if WWE is going to let New Day break the record, and again, the date for that, guys, is December 13th. They tie the record right there. The next day, they break it. So, but should we even discuss
So
it?
they'll hold it to Royal Rumble, at least.
Well, James, why do you feel that we should discuss it?
Yeah, it's more like, it's just also because of, you look at the fact of Cesaro and Sheamus. My question would be, would they break it up there, or just because, they hate each other more?
Would it be like an ultra shocking twist if they had the New Day drop the titles at Hell in a Cell?
And that's what would be
No payoff.
It could be a shock, really, to be honest.
That would shame us.
Yeah. But I think there's going to be only one title change and we talked about it in the car. Only title change I think it's going to be the Cruiserweight Championship.
Who?
The Brian Kendrick.
Give a hoot. Don't pollute.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think there's any way the New Day will lose their titles. Cesaro and Sheamus will have some kind of breakdown. I don't think it'll be a decent match, but there's no way. I think they're going to break that record. And they deserve it. They've been a great tag team throughout the last year or so. But, yeah, you were saying, Mark, I agree with you that we might only see one title change, and I think it could be the Cruiserweight title.
It's going to be interesting to see this match and the way they pan it out. We even talked about it earlier for Cedric Alexander, Lindsay Dorado, and Sin Cara taking on Tony Nese, Drew Gulak, and Arya Daivari about the lack of character development in the Cruiserweights. The only real Cruiserweights in WWE right now that's had any character development whatsoever right now is Brian Kendrick and T.J. Perkins.
Right, as far as the Cruiserweight, yeah.
Now, do I see them dropping the title off of Perkins onto Kendrick? I would not be surprised if WWE went that route and just gave it to Kendrick. Because as of late, I don't know if you notice this. I don't know if you notice this, Mark, or even if you notice this, James. But has the Cruiserweights just been toned down ever since they debuted on Monday Night Raw?
Oh, yeah.
I think it's more liability cost for WWE on the main roster than it was for the Cruiserweight Classic. That's why they tone it down a little bit more, because they don't want them to injure themselves. They don't want WWE to be liable for the injuries.
Well, plus they're taking them out on the road and filling the cards on the.
Yeah, but when they're on NXT,
shows.
They're not held down. They can do pretty much the spots they want to.
Right.
There's a difference between a Vince McMahon run WWE and a Triple H run NXT.
Well, right now there's so many players in the game that they should let them do what they want to stand out.
And it's a different division for and it's different segment for the show,
Right. I mean, that's like how Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero and a lot of them made their name.
What the hell is wrong with Chris? I think beef stroganoff will destroy
Vaginal warfare and
What is wrong with you, Chris? Oh my!
Let's read that again. I think
you can read it.
beef stroganoff will destroy vaginal warfare in a head-to-clit mashup. That's a great comment.
Chris, what are you on, and can I have a hit? Oh man!
So I don't know, what is your guys' prediction when it comes down to T.J. Perkins and Brian Kendrick? I got Kendrick.
I'm once again going to go against you guys and say T.J. Perkins. I mean, he's really come on strong.
Just like his music.
Yeah, he just like boop, boop, boop.
Yeah, like I can't do it like he can, but like that. But the guy's a gamer. I got to get behind the gamer. I got to go with Perkins. It's the wrestle gamer
Going
in
with
me.
your heart rather than your head.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
Well,
Well, James, what do you pick?
me is a toss-up, but I'm going to go with Billy. I'm going to make it a split.
Ooh, okay. A little coin toss. And next week we'll have to see how we panned out on our prediction.
Thanks for the sound effect.
So to get to the Hell in a Cell cage matches, the one that is the least interesting to me is the U.S. title. We've been seeing the feud since SummerSlam, and really even kind of before that. Roman Reigns defending against Rusev. Does anybody really care about either of these guys?
For one reason. For one reason.
Rusev could be more, but
I know, but for one reason. Lana.
Lana. Well, we get to look at Lana, but she won't be in the cell.
Yeah, she'll be out the cell screaming,
Yeah.
crush him, Rusev, crush him. But I think it should be a great ploy for Rusev to beat the crap out of Roman Reigns.
I would like to see Rusev win it back.
Yeah. But give like Rusev like a monster, like your Lana on a control.
I don't
Rusev.
think it's going to happen, but yeah, I'd like to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I gotta agree with you guys on that one, James. What about you, all in favor for Roman Reigns?
Roman Reigns is going to get beat down more for the match. Roman Reigns is going to come back out of
Superman.
nowhere and win this.
Yeah,
So you
believe
think
that.
he's gonna get like 85% of the heat in the match and then just have a hot
Without
finish?
doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, hot finish, basically. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement there. So Roman Reigns retains. Let's see. Well, let's go to the women's title match. Sasha Banks defending against Charlotte.
This is
I'm
gonna
looking
be
forward to it.
First woman.
same here.
So.
Yeah, exactly. The first ever women's match and women's title match inside Hell in a Cell. Now, they could do some unique things with that, but I've said on YouTube this week that do not expect them to do Shane McMahon insane type of spots off the Hell in a Cell. That's not going to
one on
happen.
top of the cell?
That's just WrestleMania stuff.
Yeah, that's WrestleMania
Cell.
stuff, but it's going to be unique to see the way they work it. I think they're going to have to do something more to impress me, because I believe when TNA had the knockout street fight, and tell me if you remember this, James, between Taryn Terrell and Gail Kim, that set the bar kind of high for women's matches.
That was the last knockout standing match at Slammiversary.
Is that the one where Gail took the cutter off the stage?
Yeah.
Okay.
The last women's standing match. Yep.
Yeah, but you kind of get where I'm going with this. Charlotte and Sasha Banks need to kind of surpass what, in my personal opinion, Taryn Terrell and Gail Kim did.
Yeah.
Well, for me, to be honest, that bar was raised up more in Brooklyn with Bailey and Sasha. They basically, that cell match has to up that. Basically, that boy's been. I mean, even though it's like a unique women being first time ever, they have to do something. And plus, it's in Sasha's hometown, so I'm gonna have to go with Sasha with this one. But it has to be match of the year candidate.
Well, and not so many botches for me.
Yeah, because the one thing they can't do is
break Sasha Banks' neck
and go out there and just lay an egg like they did for SummerSlam. What their SummerSlam match was
painful to watch.
Painful. It was disappointing. Considering the level of matches they had on Monday Night Raw, they were absolutely fantastic.
Better than that.
But then you take it to the next level and put it on one of your big four pay-per-views, and what happens? It just sank like the Titanic. Okay? You know, it sank like at My Chances of Love being sunk.
It's also with the fact that we find out later on that Sasha got injured. Not during the match, but before, so that's why the match was happy.
Wait, she was injured before the match?
She was fighting her.
Yeah. She was fighting her, yeah.
As I nearly fell. Yeah. Jacob, get me another chair, damn it!
Let's take this. Take mine.
No, I'll sit up for right now. I'm good. But let's forget about the chair, because Nick remembers the problems I've had with chairs, especially in New Iberia. So, we're gonna get away from that.
Yeah.
I believe that was during the fall, wasn't it?
Yeah. But back to the match.
You know what? James is in New Orleans. You're right here in front of me, and I do have a weapon.
All I gotta do is run away.
Yeah, you could help the man.
It's all good.
All right, let's just move on.
Thank you.
Sasha Banks.
I'm going to keep it on Sasha Banks as well, but I will say this: possibly match of the night, right there.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Question would be
Sunday.
main event, last match.
Kevin Owens against.
Well, you know what,
Seth
James does bring up a good point. Now, will this
Will it be last? Yeah.
Yeah, because right now WWE has done nothing but say that triple main event. You know, for describing Reigns versus Rusev, Charlotte versus Sasha, and Seth Owens, as Chris Jericho put it on Monday Night Raw, and Kevin Owens for the Universal title. But they wouldn't say which match is going to be the match of the night. They just got
Sasha and Charlotte.
For it being the historic precedent that they're setting for it to be the first ever women's match inside Hell in a Cell.
Sounds gonna be cool. Maybe Ric Flair might come back and do something.
I don't know if that'll be possible.
Did y'all notice that they are announcing her as Charlotte Flair now?
Yeah, James, have you found out anything about that? About why they're now announcing her as Charlotte Flair instead of just Charlotte?
I don't know. I guess it's just the fact that she's Ric Flair's daughter. I think
might as well cash in on it.
I don't know.
Ric Flair would have
recently dated. So
she was on SportsCenter this week, I believe.
Woo!
In the match.
James, since you are the women's correspondent of WGS-TV, I'm going to assign you that task to find out for next week's show. Okay? Woo!
Yeah.
if I'm here for next week's show.
Yeah.
Great.
But now.
Otherwise, I will Facebook you.
Okay. Now let's look at the Universal titles. Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens. We were expecting Triple H to interfere in their last match, which did not happen.
It was Chris Jericho instead.
Yeah, and that was Battleground, wasn't it?
Yeah, Jericho's not booked for anything right now, so it's possible that we could see that again in the Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, but James, what are the chances?
The question is when are they going to do Seth Rollins versus Triple H, and that depends on when Triple H is going to come interfere in one of his matches.
I would think, James, tell me if you agree with this scenario, that the lights go out in the arena, and when the lights come back on, Triple H is standing there with his sledgehammer. It could be done.
It's a possibility.
That's a possibility, but that'd be the possibility if the match goes last.
Right. And if they do Rollins versus Triple H at Survivor Series.
It's feasible for them to do it there. It's a big
wait for WrestleMania.
You think?
Mark thinks they're going to wait till WrestleMania to do Rollins and Triple H.
You can also say Triple H's return at Survivor Series during the
Big Four to
SmackDown
progress
versus Raw
the
match.
Big Four storyline.
But as far as this match goes, I got a tough time thinking that they're going to drop the title off of Owens.
Right.
Especially if they're going to have Rollins work a match with Triple H, possibly at Survivor Series. So, they could put the title on Rollins to maybe give some more emphasis onto the feud between Triple H and Seth Rollins. If they do this feud and they put the title on Triple H, how pissed off are a lot of fans going to be if they do that?
They won't. Hopefully not. But I think they have to do Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho feud at this point. The fans want it, and it's got to happen.
My better thing is like maybe he costs him the championship, and he says, "I made you who you are now. Made you champion. I take it away," and this makes for the feud for WrestleMania.
Yeah, but do you think the feud between Owens and Jericho would have more fire into it with the Universal Championship instead of without it?
Well, I think Jericho's the best they got on the roster.
Yeah.
So I think he deserves to have the title right now. And people know who Jericho is. And I love Kevin Owens, but people don't know who he is. The average person, I was talking to some people that I haven't watched wrestling in a few years. I don't know anybody now. But they know Jericho. Yeah. And he's the best one. He's the most entertaining one on the show.
Just put that Universal title on the map.
Yeah, exactly. Because they tried to do it with Finn Balor. They had a lot of stock in him.
And then the injury.
And they said it the best on SmackDown that, Daniel Bryan said it, I believe, that whoever Triple H decides to pedigree is the champion on Raw. And that's pretty much it. And you compete for it on SmackDown.
James, what are your thoughts? James?
I'm trying to research it. There's no news why they add Charlotte's last place to last name. But anyway,
he's doing his homework.
Title.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's just this Universal title match is it's a long-standing feud, but I think this is the end of End's feud, the end of the match feud. Basically, this is just
the consummation of the storyline.
Yeah. Thank you.
Owens is a chosen one, and Rollins is not anymore.
Which next week on Raw, we're going to see Goldberg on Raw and a Halloween show, so I'm sure they'll have a Halloween party backstage or something.
What I want to see next week for Goldberg's return on Monday Night Raw is an actual confirmation on the date of the match.
They already said it was Survivor Series.
No, they didn't even say it in
They've already said that. I've seen it. They showed it on Talking Smack.
It's on social media. It's on social media. It's on WWE.com. Survivor Series is the official date.
Okay. All right. Well, like the six-man cruiserweight match was news to you. That's news to me. Because I'm going off of what they said with Goldberg's return last week, and what Lesnar and Heyman did, or the lack of what Lesnar and Heyman did this week on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, and he couldn't.
Yeah.
But I don't think anybody could have. You're in somebody's home. You're in Lesnar's hometown.
It's basically like you're trying to put over Roman Reigns as a face, and the crowd just boos the shit out of him.
Yeah.
I can say that on the AOC, can I?
Yeah.
I mean, we just talked about clits with Chris.
Might as well.
And it's late, and it's local access anyway.
We apologize for all the kids watching this show.
What kids watching this show?
You're taking kids to bed.
Mommy,
late.
If they're up right now watching.
Mama, I want to watch Sports Entertainment tonight on AOC. I don't think I'm going to.
Mommy, what's a clit?
Where's this show gone?
If Billy gets thrown off the show, don't blame me.
Yeah, he's not going to get thrown off.
He's going to get fined by the FCC.
Oh, man. They're going to be finding an empty piggy bank. That's all I'm going to say.
One thing they should do for Raw next week is have Chris Jericho do a Halloween party and have everybody on the list.
Whoa, wait. Austin Aries, James, if you can go to Austin Aries' Twitter right now, there is a...
Yeah, I've seen it. It's basically, that was at a house, that came from a house show last night on NXT. He was facing Shinsuke Nakamura.
Oh, shit. Wow. Shinsuke did? Wow.
Strong style, baby.
Yeah, strong style.
Has anybody watched Total Bellas?
No.
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 But do I care to watch Total Bellas?
I
No.
watched a little bit of it just because I was curious, and I don't know. I mean, it's
It's just
okay.
like Total Divas.
Trying to know.
Unless you follow the Total Divas.
Well, it's all Bellas, but it's basically more about Daniel Bryan and John Cena and like the Bellas, than it is like all of the other divas,
I would rather watch Total Bryan or Total Cena.
Well, I mean, and that's basically kind of what it is. It doesn't have a lot of Cena because Cena's a busy guy, I guess.
Yeah.
And so.
But it's just like it's Nikki Bella and
But
Brie
Daniel
Bella.
Bryan's there pretty much all the time.
Well, he's married to Brie Bella. She's one of the main persons, but like and John Lawrence Nice is in there. He's trying to be a father figure. Yeah, yeah, people power.
It says here, Becky Lynch reveals why she's been out of action.
Yeah, we'll scratch.
Let's see.
No, that. Well, while he's looking that up, let's talk a little bit about the Dusty Rhodes Classic this week on NXT and the first round of the tournament.
Why can't do a Dusty Rhodes Classic for like the main rosters?
Well, they started it on NXT because of his involvement with NXT, so they figured that would be the best way to pay tribute.
Yeah, he's the godfather of NXT.
Yeah. So in the first match, they had Ho Ho Lun and Tian Bing, who's the first ever Chinese WWE superstar, taking on DIY, which is a team of Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. They gave him a name, DIY, do it yourself. I thought it was a great match, but they really put over DIY more than anything, and they got the win with a super kick knee strike on Lun. Then we'd have Aaliyah and Billie Kay. Aaliyah, who was distracted by Liv Morgan attacking Peyton Royce on the outside, would get the roll up, and then Billie Kay and Peyton Royce just attacked Aaliyah and Liv Morgan. Then we had Nohe Paches, Potjes. Good luck pronouncing that. And Ty Dillinger. This is basically to put Ty over, and the fact that
Perfect 10.
and the fact that he's taking on Bobby Roode at the next NXT Takeover Toronto. Yeah, and I like that. And now, finally, one of the things I've been wanting to talk about, Asuka.
Yeah.
And she dominated Thea Trinidad. And that German suplex with a knee behind the back, golly. Man, the things that they can do.
Too.
But they did have the actual reveal promo of Mickie James. Because throughout the entire match, Nick, they put Asuka over as who can beat Asuka, and they said nobody. And now they bring in Mickie James. So I think possibly the way they work in the angle is they're going to have Mickie James, and I think she even said it during her promo that you've beaten everybody, but you haven't beaten me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the thing about that. I want to talk about that. There've been reports that it was supposed to be Trish Stratus because it was in Toronto.
Yeah, and I think we talked about it last week. I think.
She became pregnant with her second child, and they had to, not use her. But Mickie James is.
Give it to Mickie James.
It says here Vince doesn't want Charlotte and Sasha Banks to go on last. So there you go.
But the fans want it.
Yeah, but
I'm a traditionalist myself. I personally believe, and I said it last week, that the top title of your brand, whether it be a world title or in Monday Night Raw's case,
you're sexist. I'm picking.
Which, guys, we've only got 6 minutes left, and we missed some of the biggest wrestling news of the week in that Randy
hold on.
now joined the Wyatts.
You don't know that.
There's one last match in the Dusty Rhodes Classic, and Kota Ibushi, who was originally supposed to have Hideo Itami as his partner in the Dusty Rhodes Classic, now has a replacement in the form of the Cruiserweight champion, T.J. Perkins. They took on Lince Dorado and Mustafa Ali in a great match, and the finish was Perkins locking on the knee bar onto Ali. So T.J. Perkins and Kota Ibushi, Golden Star Kota Ibushi, advanced in the tournament. Why is Kota Ibushi not on the main roster as part of the Cruiserweight division?
I think he might be the next NXT champion.
Is so stale right now.
It's the same thing why DIY is not on Raw for the Cruiserweight.
Because they need something in NXT to keep entertaining.
Yeah, I don't think he might be a future NXT champion, maybe.
Now for the final news of the week.
One of the main things that happened on SmackDown was they had a Wyatt versus Kane, and Luke Harper is out there to help Wyatt. Orton came out to help Kane, but Orton gave Kane a RKO out of nowhere and joins the Wyatt family. Is he just playing mind games, guys?
I think it might be, because think back to when Daniel Bryan joined the Wyatt family and what he did. And I believe it was when Wyatt and Daniel were locked in a steel cage.
Which Vince wrote that, by the way.
Yeah. So I think that this is probably a swerve in the works.
Yeah.
Possibly, because I can't see Randy Orton growing a beard. I think that's probably a prerequisite for joining the Wyatt family. You must have a Duck Dynasty beard.
Not really.
Also, to get to it just before the show's over, Dean Ambrose, is he out of the title picture because he lost to AJ Styles in a disqualification due to Ellsworth?
What was that face he was doing on the outside? You know, his version of hulking up. Was he like crapping in his diaper?
He did hulk up.
He's like,
He Ellsworth up.
He elfed up.
He turtled up.
Yeah.
He chinned up.
You elfed
chinned
up.
He chinned up. He extended his chin for the first time in his life.
No chin music.
And we also saw Nikki Bella is going to be the captain of the SmackDown women's team, and Natalya is not even going to be on the team. And we had a tag title match for Slater and Rhino retained.
Yep.
Yeah, if they were going to drop it, James, to the Spirit Squad that night, I was going to be so pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather drop it to the Ascension or Vaudeville.
Spirit Squad.
Oh, shut up, James.
Yeah.
I do not like the Spirit Squad.
Nikki, yeah.
If it's Bella, followed by Bella, then yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Talent ain't sexually transmitted, though.
But it's going to be very interesting. They did talk in NXT about the next round of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. One of the matches they did talk about were the Authors of Pain taking on No Way Jose and Rich Swann. I'm trying to think of what was some of the other matches. I know the Revival are going to be meeting DIY in the second round as well. Corey Graves really put that. Corey Graves on NXT, he really puts over the Revival big time. So, but they're a good tag team as well.
The heel commentator, what you expect?
Sure.
Yeah, much better than some of the current crop we have right now.
Yeah.
So a quick question for you guys. I don't know if y'all have seen like the little posters for it, but AJ Styles versus Shawn Michaels at Royal Rumble. Is it
That's
just
a myth.
Is it just something to sell tickets?
It's not going to happen.
It's just something like to.
It's somebody that's good with Photoshop. That's what it is.
Yeah, or maybe they're doing like an anniversary kind of thing, like with the.
I mean, because we know Shawn Michaels is from San Antonio, so are they doing that as a ploy to try and sell some tickets to fill up the Alamo Dome?
I wouldn't be
so.
surprised.
Somebody did that. Somebody photoshopped that, so that's not.
Probably from the WWE to try and sell some tickets.
I wouldn't put it past WWE to pull a stunt like this.
And AJ Styles even tweeted about it that he would like to take on Shawn Michaels.
But we know physically he can't do it because of his back problems.
Sure.
Yeah, and he's getting older in age.
Yeah,
He
so.
ain't Ric Flair.
He still trains people.
But let's end the show like this on a hypothetical. AJ Styles in his prime versus Shawn Michaels in his prime.
Which I almost think AJ Styles is in his prime now.
Prime. Before injury or after injury?
I want to say
Before. Like
2002.
Yeah, 10, 11 era.
I'll take his first world run with the World Wrestling Federation Championship. That part.
Yeah.
96.
Yeah, 96.
Yeah.
So Shawn Michaels in his prime, 96 versus the AJ Styles, who is currently in his prime. What do you guys think? What would you
Awesome
who-
match.
Styles.
Really?
Michael's getting like the last Sweet Chin music, and
No, but remember, we're not talking about
Styles
Shawn
got the
Michaels of now.
moveset, man.
We're talking about Shawn Michaels 1996 in his prime.
Nobody's ever had a moveset like AJ Styles.
But Shawn Michaels has had an amazing career with an amazing moveset of its own.
You're right. You're right. But AJ Styles has brought it to a new level.
James, what about you? Well, you know, again, we're just speaking hypothetically. Shawn Michaels in his prime against AJ Styles in his prime.
Let's say this. If I would have put this like an Iron Man match, I would put Shawn Michaels by
Sure.
a point.
I would have to agree with that.
That would have been an awesome Iron Man match.
I will say this, despite who would win in the match in this hypothetical, it would still be something to see. It really would be a spectacle in itself.
Another rumor for Royal Rumble right now going on is Kevin Owens against Brock Lesnar.
I think if the rumors would be true, I would think that the best place to start it, to have any inclination of that happening, would be Survivor Series. Like if Kevin Owens and Brock Lesnar were on this, well, they can't be because they're doing
Goldberg.
Yeah, so
but they'll have some time to do that. But that's usually where they start setting up WrestleMania matches, and I'm thinking we're going to see Brock Lesnar versus Shane O'Mac at WrestleMania this year.
Yeah, that would be if they do in the Royal Rumble, they do the Universal title match, and then all of a sudden Shane McMahon interferes in the match, costing Brock Lesnar the title.
I could see that happening, and where he costs Lesnar when it counts.
Yep.
Because he still owes him from whenever he F5'd him way back.
Right. Yeah. Well, gentlemen, I think it's time we start wrapping up things right here.
Make like Trojan and wrap it up, y'all.
Yep.
As if the beef stroganoff comment from earlier from Chris wasn't bad enough. James, before we go, tell everybody where they can find you online.
You can find me on Twitter at FatBoy504, PHATBOI504. You can find me on Twitch with the same username. And Billy, you made the list.
We've done made the list, Billy.
I thought I made the list years ago, James.
You're always on the list.
The list of people he wants to hug.
Yep.
And I want to hug Bailey, that's for sure.
Well,
Hug life.
Number one on the list of that.
I think we're off.
Hug Bailey's number one.
Yeah.
Maybe she's the only one, really.
Well, folks, that's going to be it for this week on Sports Entertainment Tonight. On next week's show, we're going to talk about the fallout from Hell in the Cell, because we're still live online. We're going to talk about the fallout from Hell in the Cell. Were the matches good enough? Was the women's match the final match, the main event? And was the card really, really spectacular? So tune in next week for that. So with that being said, for Nick Fuquay, who's doing his best and worst Shawn Michaels impersonation, Mark the Smart Traha, I am the Russell Gamer Double B, Billy Boudreaux, saying we'll see you next week right here on AOC. Bye, guys!
So glorious!
Don't wave the chair.